Winter can be a difficult season for blood sugar stability. Shorter days disrupt circadian rhythms, colder temperatures reduce spontaneous movement, and heavier comfort foods can nudge glucose levels higher than usual. This is why researchers have become increasingly interested in traditional warm beverages, drinks that people naturally reach for in colder months, to see whether some of them may offer real metabolic advantages. Among these, one combination is receiving particular scientific attention in Europe: a cinnamon cocoa beverage that blends two antioxidant-rich ingredients into a comforting winter ritual capable of improving fasting glucose, reducing inflammation, and calming metabolic volatility. What's especially encouraging is that this beverage supports blood sugar not by restricting calories or eliminating carbohydrates, but by enhancing the body's natural insulin functions and taming low-grade inflammation that underlies winter metabolic drift. Recent European trials, especially those conducted in Scandinavia, Germany, and Spain, have examined how cinnamon and cocoa polyphenol interact with glucose metabolism. Participants who consumed a daily cinnamon cocoa drink, typically unsweetened or lightly sweetened with a small amount of natural sweetener, saw significant improvements in fasting glucose within several weeks. The effect was not dramatic like a medication, but it was steady, reliable, and clinically meaningful. Average drops in fasting glucose ranged from 4 to 12 mg/dl, and insulin sensitivity markers also improved. For many participants, the drink helped smooth the early morning glucose rise that tends to worsen in winter when cortisol rhythms shift and physical activity decreases. The strength of this beverage lies in the synergy between cinnamon's glucose-handling properties and cocoa's anti-inflammatory, endothelial-supportive polyphenol. Cinnamon contains bioactive compounds such as cinnamaldehyde and MHCP, methyl hydroxycone polymer, that appear to mimic some insulin-like actions at the cellular level. These compounds enhance insulin receptor signaling, help glucose enter muscle cells more efficiently, and slow the rate at which carbohydrates break down in the small intestine. In controlled trials, even small amounts, half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of high-quality Ceylon cinnamon, produced noticeable improvements in post-meal glucose responses. Cocoa, on the other hand, contributes a different type of metabolic support. Rich in flavonols such as epicatechin and catechin, cocoa promotes vasodilation, improves endothelial function, and reduces oxidative stress, all of which are closely tied to insulin sensitivity. When blood vessels become more responsive and nitric oxide production increases, glucose disposal improves because tissues receive better blood flow and oxygenation. Cocoa polyphenol also activate NRF2 pathways, helping cells reduce oxidative damage and modulate inflammatory processes that interfere with insulin signaling. In several European studies, the cinnamon cocoa drink also reduced inflammatory markers such as CRP, IL-6, and TNF-alpha. This reduction is not just a pleasant side effect. Inflammation is one of the hidden drivers of insulin resistance, particularly in winter when respiratory infections, high-calorie meals, and reduced sunlight combine to increase systemic inflammation. By lowering inflammatory stress, the drink helps metabolic systems function more smoothly and respond more predictably to glucose intake. Another intriguing finding is the drink's impact on nighttime and morning glucose variability. Participants who consumed the cinnamon cocoa beverage in the evening experienced gentler overnight glucose curves and fewer early morning spikes. Researchers attribute this to the way cinnamon slows gastric emptying and how cocoa helps improve endothelial relaxation, reducing nocturnal stress responses. This combination may support better sleep quality as well, which indirectly helps with glucose regulation, another positive ripple effect noted in several observational reports. What makes this beverage particularly accessible is how well it fits into winter habits. People naturally reach for warm drinks when temperatures drop. Replacing sugary hot chocolate, flavored lattes, or sweet teas with a cinnamon cocoa blend allows individuals to preserve the comfort of ritual while reducing the metabolic strain typically caused by winter beverages. The drink is warm, aromatic, richly flavored, and emotionally soothing, qualities that make long-term adherence easy. The pleasure factor is significant. Unlike supplements or restrictive diets, this is a daily habit that feels indulgent while quietly supporting metabolic stability. Cocoa itself adds additional benefits beyond glucose control. It contains magnesium, a mineral essential for insulin function, muscle relaxation, and stable blood pressure, nutrients that many people lack during winter due to stress and dietary shifts. High flavanol cocoa also increases GLP-1 levels, the same hormone targeted by popular diabetes and weight management medications. Although the effect is mild, it reinforces satiety, reduces cravings, and supports smoother appetite rhythms throughout the day. Cinnamon brings prebiotic qualities to the drink as well. Certain cinnamon fibers feed beneficial gut microbes that produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which improve gut barrier function, reduce inflammation, and further support insulin sensitivity. This gut metabolism connection is especially important in winter when dietary diversity often drops and gut health becomes more vulnerable. Even small modifications to the beverage recipe can enhance its effects. Using Ceylon cinnamon instead of cassia avoids excessive coumarin intake and provides a smoother, sweeter flavor profile. Choosing unsweetened, high flavanol cocoa rather than Dutch processed cocoa, which loses many antioxidants, maximizes polyphenol activity. Combining the drink with warm plant milk or dairy milk adds protein and fats that help further stabilize glucose responses. The result is a balanced, nourishing beverage that supports metabolic rhythms without feeling medicinal. What makes the cinnamon cocoa drink particularly inspiring is that it offers a metabolic advantage through addition rather than restriction. Instead of asking people to eliminate foods or endorse strict rules, it introduces a comforting daily ritual that gently nudges the body toward better glucose control. In a season when metabolic stability becomes harder to maintain, and when emotional comfort is just as important as nutritional value, this drink represents a rare intersection of pleasure and physiology. The emerging research highlights that metabolic support does not always require drastic interventions. Sometimes a simple winter beverage, rich in antioxidants, soothing to the senses, and grounded in culinary tradition, can help stabilize fasting glucose, reduce inflammation, and support healthier metabolic rhythms. Cinnamon and cocoa have been cherished in winter kitchens for centuries, and modern science is only now beginning to reveal that their combination may be one of the simplest and most enjoyable ways to care for blood sugar during the coldest months of the year.